Welcome to the Networking with Michelle podcast, the show dedicated to providing you with life strategies with a little bit of entrepreneur advice. Here we believe in the Jim Rohn quote, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Hey, good people. Welcome to the Networking with Michelle show. I'm your host, Michelle Gomez, where we discuss life strategies with a bit of entrepreneurial advice. And first of all, my apologies. I did not release an episode last week, and I'm really mad at myself because I wanted to do, and this is the follow-up episode to HIV awareness. And I was so gung-ho about it, I completely forgot. I don't even know how that happened, but life happens, right? So first of all, Brittany, once again, thank you for your contribution and promoting the episode and all that good stuff. And I was so moved by my conversation with her. I was like, I need to go get tested. And it was one of those situations where, like, you know, Michelle, you good. And it's like, nah, you need to go get tested. So, and it really was a conviction in the sense that I don't want to, talk this talk, on this podcast and this platform and extend it via social media and not 100% walk that walk, or I'm walking unknown, right? And I went to Legacy Community Health Clinic here in Houston, and the whole thing took me about an hour. I walked in, they asked me what kind of test do I want to do. You can do the HIV and the syphilis test for free. And then you can, the chlamydia, gonorrhea, and whatever else is like $35. So I took those tests, went upstairs, I waited, they called my name, went to the back, they gave me my little educational lesson. I was like, they really didn't want to test me. I was like, I got to take this test, okay? And then they pricked my finger, took my blood, told me to go back to the front. I had to wait for about 15 minutes, maybe even less. I got my results with a printout, and I am HIV negative. I'm good. I'm on the up and up, right? Which I pretty much believed, but it's been a while for so many things. So it was good to just kind of clear my mind regarding that. I encourage you to get tested, right? I encourage you to get tested. I know a lot of my friends are single, and I have another handful of friends that are in long-term committed relationships or even marriages. And I just believe you should get tested on a regular basis. This is something I've always believed, and I've kind of lost sight of it. And then even if you are in a relationship, you should go with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or partner and get tested. Your health is so important, and lots of times when we talk about the health, we only talk about like losing weight, or we talk about cancer, and now there's more talk about mental health, right, which I'm an advocate of that as well, and I speak freely about my relationship with my therapist. But there's so many components of health that we need to address because it's affecting our Black and Brown communities. And I feel like as long as I have this podcast and I'm able to bring people in, we're going to address those issues. I'm going to be honest. Some of the topics right now I'm considering is like aging parents, right? I don't know what I'm going to call it, but my mom, like I'm going through some stuff right now with my mom, and she's about to retire. And for me, it's becoming very difficult in so many aspects, and that's a whole nother episode. And then this is a conversation I have with my friends, about, it's like we're trying to live our life and be in these happy relationships with our significant other, but then there's that obligation and responsibility to take care of our parents. And you only have so much time and energy in the day. Another episode I want to talk with, do in the future with a colleague, ran into her, we started talking, and it's about infertility issues that's going on among African American women. We don't talk about that. And once again, and I don't know if it's fair to compare it, but lots of times, like, you don't even know you have a problem until you start trying. Like, you don't know that you're having infertility issues until you get married and you're trying to conceive, right? You don't know you have HIV until you get pregnant and they're doing all this blood work, and boom, it's these bittersweet moments. And it shouldn't be that way. And it's what can we do to prevent some of these problems, or just become aware of these problems, so that we can, I feel like once we have the conversation, we can take action. And that's what I'm encouraging us to do. I'm having these conversations and these, interviews and stuff on the podcast. That way, maybe your action step is to have that sit down with your boyfriend or girlfriend, husband or wife. Maybe your action step is to go get tested, right? It's okay. I went, so everyone's action step's going to vary, but let's take action, because I feel that if we take care of our individual self, when we come together as a community, we're going to be a lot stronger. So those are the things that I have in mind, and I just want to keep pushing the envelope forward. I'm just so grateful for podcasting, my network, you, the listeners. I'm just so grateful, and I just want to continue to evolve, and hopefully we continue to, as I evolve, we're growing together, because that's all I really want at the end of the day. Let's see here. Some of the things I have coming up. It is April 1st. If you follow me on social media, I put a post and a video. I talked about how I want to do 100 interviews, 100 media placements by the end of the year. So this has been a long time goal of mine, but I've always pushed it back. And lately I've been talking about taking bold steps with no guarantee of success, right? And this is one of my bold steps with no guarantee of success. And people have been coming through the woodworks. I'm like, hey, let's set up this interview. Let's knock this out. So I'm already grateful. So things that you're going to see this week, you're going to see an interview of me discussing my journey of therapy on the melanin and mental health. I mentioned them here before. They have a podcast now called Between Sessions. So I discuss my journey, my relationship with my therapist, how I got to that point on that episode. That podcast is led by Ebony Harris and Eliza Bo Queen. And then Ebony has another podcast, Room for Relations, where we talk about sexuality on that episode. So both of those episodes should be dropping on Monday. And then I actually have a written blog post talking about my therapy, which I titled it Embracing Therapy in a Fragile State. And that would be on thequeercenter.com, and that's led by my friend Justin. Hey, Justin Smith, and he saw my interview, the Melanin Mental Health interview, Facebook Live, and he reached out to me. I was like, yes, I'll be glad to write a blog post. So those were 3 things that I knocked out last week, once again, just by putting my goals out there. And I suggest you do the same, right? And yours may not be the media interviews. It is something that you've been sitting on, whether it's from January as a New Year's resolution, or maybe it's like me, something that you've been sitting on for 2 to 3 years, but you were too hesitant to even act. Now this is the time. Act boldly. And then once you put it out there, people, like, the law of attraction is real. Like, people will start reaching out to you. Like, I want to support you. Can you do this? I want to support you. Let's schedule an interview. Or people started tagging me on different Facebook and Instagram posts, and now I got to reach out to these people, So act boldly with no guarantee of success. I guess that's my nugget of the day. Just so grateful for all of you. So if you are a podcaster, if you know a podcaster, if you have a blog and you want me to contribute, reach out to me via email, social media. I'll tell you my specialties. At this point, I am so open, because lately, I've been talking about a lot of things from not just the marketing, networking. I can definitely do that. But growing up as a Cameroon American, I'm talking about my sexuality, or what is sexuality, right? That's a whole nother topic as far as, breaking that down and just my journey through life, and of course with the mental health component. So if you need a voice to contribute, if you have a platform, if you have a friend that has a platform and you need a new voice to contribute, please reach out to me, because a lot of things, a lot of things are coming out of Michelle Gomez in 2018 and beyond, and this is just an extra layer. The end of this month, I'll be doing a social media workshop. It is a private event. That's on the 24th and the 25th, I believe. And then on the 27th, I'll be in New York speaking at the Womeneer Conference on content marketing. I will be hosting a meetup in New York on that Saturday, the 28th. The conference is in Brooklyn. My hotel will probably in Brooklyn, and therefore the meetup will be in Brooklyn. So if you are in New York, please reach out to me. I would love to put you on the list. I would love to meet with you. At this time, I am looking for a location, and once I get the location, the timing and all that stuff will follow. But I know there's some New York listeners. I know we're connected online, and I will love to meet you on April 28th if that is possible. Okay. Look, I just wanted to put this out there. Just take action, right? So many things regarding your health, your business, short-term, long-term goals. Take action. Remember, I believe in you. Personal connection leads to an influential network. Thanks for networking with Michelle.